Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Okay, today I'm going to cover part 2 of Dr. Brian's email to me, and that's the one that was the question, and it's a really good question. I don't think and Dr. Brian in that question says, I train a blind golfer who keeps hitting fat. How can I help him? And he signs it, Cheers, Dr. Brian. Well, I answered Dr. Brian his email and wrote him actually a pretty long definition, or I should say explanation what was going on. And it was 2 full pages once it printed out. And basically the thing is I don't think I've ever personally worked with a blind golfer, but I was at a PGS seminar once, and where they had pros teaching players with different types of handicaps, like broken legs or missing legs, or with prosthetics on them and everything else. But one of the time was with a blind golfer, and that blind golfer was I know his last name is Sullivan, but he's a very famous actor, and his last name, I'm pretty certain it's Sullivan, and he had a pretty good golf swing, and his #1 goal that he mentioned when the pro that was teaching him and he were talking about how they work together and why they work together, was his #1 goal was to be able to qualify, get a handicap low enough where he could play in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Okay, and so they were working on things. He hadn't quite got there yet, but I watched it, and that pro was giving him a really good golf swing. But the big issue, I saw 2 big issues. All right, I went up and talked to the pro afterwards about it, and I don't know if he took it to heart or whatever, but the biggest thing I saw was that the blind person was he was working on him to have a big turn and a long swing, and he had the left knee coming in and everything else, and it was way too much movement. And I went to him and I gave him my theory about the wide knees, outward pressure, and stay still. Now, anybody who's been to golf schools or spent enough time with me knows that I can hit a golf ball with my eyes closed. In fact, at the last golf school I just did, I had somebody that was really putting a lot of knee action to it. Thankfully, I don't see that much at schools anymore. But just to prove it to him, I got up here and I closed my eyes, and I'll do it right now. They're still closed. Scout's honor. I'm an Eagle Scout. I didn't lie. I did it with my eyes closed. At that school, I did that, and I said, just to show you this stuff really works, I took out a water. They had a water bottle on the tee, and I took it out, took the cover off, and tee went up on it and hit it. All right, and I actually did that one with a driver, and it's like, how can you do that? All right, well, it's all because I keep my levelers and stabilizers level. The levelers and stabilizers are your knees. The wide knees, outward pressure is the whole key to #1, reducing the amount of turn in your swing to a 3/4 limited turn, because almost nobody can take a big huge turn much past your toe line, well, unless you're super supple, holding the wide knees, outward pressure, or ride the skinny horses, I call it. All right, that pressure comes from you get when you set the knees wide like an athletically ready position. You're giving a little stretch on the inside of your thighs from the knees just up to your groin, and you just hold it stable. So therefore, once this stays stable, all I got to do is thinking about making sure that I run like, in my mind, I run this sensor system that goes from the top of my sternum, my top of my neck, down to my hips, so across here. And if nothing moves there, my club should return where I set up to. If I'm hitting the ball teed up, I stand up to the ball where the tee is, where the club, and put the club at the ball, teed up, and I just keep it still, and it should come back to right there. Centrifugal force is going to pull my arms down. All I got to do is keep the levelers and stabilizers quiet. And I basically sent Dr. Brian a whole big thing about that, and gave a lot more deeper explanation about it. All right, but that's the key. Now, I tell you one secret, guys and ladies and guys out there. If it works for me with my eyes closed, and I guarantee you it's going to work for that blind golfer that Dr. Brian's teaching, it's certainly going to work for all of you that can see the ball. because now you got your vision to tell you if you can see what's happening. The key is in the knees. The knees are the bees. Move them too much and you get stung. All right? So maintain your levelers and stabilizers, and you'll be hitting good shots and not getting stung anymore. And that's how you play better golf and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.